How did you and Mr. London meet? I was actually with my ex. How did you grow your hair so long? How do you stay consistent even when you don't feel motivated? We are going to be doing a get to know me chit chat video. I haven't done one of these in years. The last time I did this was with my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband. That still feels so weird to say. Let's answer some of your questions and hopefully you guys will get to know me a bit more outside of the vlogs that you girls see on YouTube. So let's get straight into it. We have quite a few questions to go through. I'm actually shocked at the amount of questions that you girls put through, so I will try to answer as many as I can. I think it makes sense to start with my relationship since you girls get to see quite a bit of that online. So someone said, I'm genuinely happy for you. I've been curious about your love story. How did you and Mr. London meet? So let's get into that first. Long story short, we met on Instagram, but what we didn't know is we had actually already met in person before. We were both at an event in London. It's kind of crazy because when I met my husband for the first time, I was actually with my ex. Damn! I was with my ex, he was with his cousin, and we were basically at this event. It was like this influencer event in London. Don't ask me what I was doing there, I have no idea. My ex and him, they weren't friends, they didn't know each other, but I think they knew of each other. They'd never met in person before, I think either, but basically me and my ex were walking, Markel and his cousin were walking, we stopped. They both said hi to each other. It was literally no more than probably 3 to 5 seconds. It was a super quick interaction. And then I was just standing there, so me and him said hi to each other. In London, something that you always say is, you're right. I think we both were just like, hi, you're right. And that was it. I remember I was at the bar buying a drink and I looked up and I saw him and his cousin and I thought, oh, like he's a good looking guy. But I didn't think anything more of it because obviously I was in a relationship. Anyway, I guess it was about a year later, 6 months later, that he messaged me on Instagram and he didn't realize that that was me and I didn't realize that that was him. It was only after we started speaking that we realized we'd had actually met before in person. That's basically how we met, and then we just started chit-chatting from there. An Instagram modern day love story, what can I say? How did you know you loved him and who said it first? So our very first phone call, we were on the phone for probably about, I'm not even joking, 5-6 hours. I felt like I was a teenager again. You know when you're like 14 years old and you're talking on the phone to a guy and you think you really like him, you're on the phone for like hours and hours and hours. That's basically how it was, except I was a full-grown adult. I knew at the time that we were talking on the phone that there was something different about him. Didn't think that he was the one, but I just felt like there's something different about him, that this could potentially be it. But at the same time, it was our first ever phone call, but I felt there was something special about him and I knew that he was going to be someone important in my life. The time that I think I realized that I was in love with him, it was my birthday. So we had at this point only been speaking for probably about 2 months. It was lockdown, it was 2020, and I was living with one of my best friends and there were loads of roses being sent to my house, chocolates, which was really sweet. I got this present in a box and it was like a box full of documents. He messaged me and he said, you know, this is your birthday present. I was thinking, what the hell is this? Let me just have a sip of tea. This is actually a very special story. Even just thinking about this story, it just always brings me so much joy. He got me a box of documents and was like, you know, this is your birthday present. I was thinking, why do I have a box of documents? And then there was like a little sachet and a little star. And I was thinking, oh, okay, nice. Is this supposed to be maybe like a key ring? Anyway, I started going through the documents. There was a certificate. It was like a very serious present. Basically, during our first ever phone call, he said to me, if I could get you anything in the world, what would it be? And as a joke, I was like, I don't know, the moon and the stars? It was just a passing comment because, I mean, if you can get me the moon and the stars, great. On the certificate, it said, during our first ever phone call, when we spoke, I asked you if I could get you anything in the world, what would it be? And you told me it would be the moon and the stars. And he said, well, as of today, Essie, I've officially bought you a star and it's called the Essie star. And it said something along the lines of, I'm still working on getting you the moon. He actually bought me a star there's actually a star in the sky named after me, and it's got the coordinates. So anytime I'm by a telescope, if I want to look at the Essie star, I can. Even though that present is not a physical present, it's nothing that I can touch or I can feel, or like a handbag that I can carry. For me, it was just such a special thing. It just showed me the kind of person that he is, and that you can speak about something, you can say passing comments, but it showed me he really is a great listener. Did I ever think that when I said get me the moon and the stars, that he would actually go out and get me a star? I would never think that in my life. It was more the meaning for me. That's the first time ever in my life that I cried of happiness. I'd always seen people cry from happiness in movies. I've only ever cried from sadness before, because I couldn't believe that someone would do something like that for me. No one had ever done something like that for me before. In that moment, I felt like I love this guy. I've only been speaking to him for like 2 months, but I really, really love this guy. My relationship before Markel, I was in for too many years, too long. It just goes to show it's not about the amount of time that you talk to someone or that you're with someone. When you know, you really do know. Girls, let this be a lesson to you that if a man wants to, he will. And also, he was the one that said I love you first, which I'm so happy about, because I did not want to be the one to say it first. Call me childish, I don't care. I did not want to be the one to say it first. So when he said it first, I was thinking, yes, finally, now I can say it back. Okay, let's get into the next question, because I hope I'm not boring you with too much relationship stuff, but there's a lot of relationship questions here. Like I said at the start of this video, I'm going to try and answer as many as I can. All right, so this is completely going off topic now. Someone has asked me, how did you grow your hair so long? I've said this in, I think, a few of my vlogs, but something that I try and do often is I actually try and get my hair cut probably every 2 to 3 months. More so lately, I think it's been like every 3 months. I do not like cutting my hair, but in order for your hair to grow, you obviously need to get rid of split ends. If you keep on leaving your split ends and you never cut them, then your split ends are just going to get longer and longer and longer, and it's going to be harder for your hair to grow. I try to make sure to not put as much heat on my hair as well. My hair, unfortunately, does have quite a bit of heat damage, but I still try and not put that much heat. So whenever I do straighten my hair, I make sure that I wrap my hair before bed. If I'm trying to make it last as long as possible, I'll wear my bonnet. I'll do whatever I can to not sweat it out. Whenever I'm blow drying my hair, I make sure I always use heat protector. So I just do these small things. It's nothing major. It's probably things that you girls already do anyway. And I make sure I use really good products as well. So I use Olaplex shampoo and conditioner, things like that. Other than that, I'm sure some of it is obviously down to genes as well. Someone said, how did you learn to share the responsibilities in your relationship? I know that you said you were used to being in charge. So in my previous relationship, I felt like I was 100% in my masculine era, which, to be honest, at the time, I didn't even realize I was in my masculine era. It's only since being in my relationship that I'm in now that I realized, oh my gosh, I was 100% in my masculine era. I was always the one in charge. I was always the one making decisions all the time. I was such a doer. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's how you like being. And don't get me wrong, I'm still very much like that with certain things, but I don't need to be like that anymore. And that's actually a really nice change. I feel like I can just breathe, step back. I know my man's got this. It's still hard sharing the responsibilities for certain things. It's definitely a dynamic that I've had to get used to with certain things. But do you know what? I love it. I love that my man takes the lead with certain things and I can be a passenger princess. And then there's other things that I'll take the lead on. It's still a learning process. Okay, so we have a few more questions. I feel like I'm going to be jumping back and forth with different topics, so I hope you girls don't mind. Sarah Wright said, what are some things that helps you build a strong, healthy relationship? It sounds very, very cliche, but definitely just building on your trust. One thing that I tried my hardest to do in this relationship to ensure that it would be a healthy relationship, any trauma or anything negative from my past relationship, I tried to make a conscious effort to not bring that into my new relationship. I didn't want him to basically suffer the consequences of things that happened in past relationships. That wouldn't be fair on him. With this new person that I'm dating, that is a fresh start. He's gonna show me who he is as a person, and I will judge him based on that. I think that definitely helped. I would just say say communication. I feel like we're both very, very good at communicating. We never shout at each other. If we have a disagreement, we try and talk it through, which was very different from my past relationship. It was actually in the beginning, it was a bit weird. I was thinking, why are we not raising our voices? It's definitely about being with someone that's on the same page as you, that wants the same things in life. I think one of the biggest things of having a healthy relationship, boundaries and respect. You can't have a healthy relationship with someone who doesn't respect you. Obviously, in order for someone to respect you, you need to make sure that you respect yourself. Just emotional maturity as well, which I think is very hard. Some men can be 40 years old or however years old and still not have emotional maturity. And I think it takes two people to be emotionally mature. I mean, look, I'm not a relationship guru and no relationship is perfect. There's a lot of things that go into having a healthy relationship, but I think the top things are just communication, respect, and boundaries. And having your alone time as well. That's also important. You don't want to be glued with each other 24/7. I think it's important that even when you're in a relationship, that you still have your alone time, your time with the girls, you still have your independence. I think for a lot of people, they get into a relationship and they lose their independence. And for me, still maintaining my independence is extremely important. I feel I'm able to show up as my best self. Strong without each other, stronger together. That kind of sounds like a saying from Planet of the Apes, but it's true. Sarah also said, any advice on maintaining your femininity, staying soft while setting boundaries, and choosing the right partner? Would really love to learn from your journey. My memory sometimes is like a goldfish, so I'm going to just have to keep checking my phone to look at the questions. I feel like I've definitely embraced my femininity more since being in this relationship, because I'm in a relationship that allows me to be soft and be feminine. I guess it depends what femininity means to you, because for some people that can be just getting your hair done, your nails done. Femininity to me is just feeling safe and calm and present and in the moment, and not feeling like I need to take control of every single situation because I feel like I don't trust my partner to do that. How I maintain it in terms of the physical aspect with like hair and nails and things like that, it honestly is just a balance, because if you think my hair and makeup is always done, then you are wrong. Advice on choosing the right partner, that's a very good question. Obviously the right partner for me may not be the right partner for you. I just think the key thing is choosing someone that loves you, choosing someone that respects you, choosing someone that is proud of you, and choosing someone who, again, everyone is different, but for me it's very important to make sure that I'm with someone that is ambitious and driven. I feel like for a lot of men, they like to chase a goal. So overall, I think it's just important to choose someone. You girls already know if it's the right person. We've all dated someone that you know damn well you should not be dating them. You just get a feeling. Sometimes we can be in Delulu land and we can tell ourselves that this person is the right person, but if I could let you girls take away anything, it would be date someone for who they are now and what they show you now. Do not date someone based on their potential. In my last relationship, I made the mistake of dating someone for their potential, and I know so many of us women are like this. We date someone for their potential because we feel like, no, you know, if they just change this, they would be so great. We love to fix people up. I don't know why we love being Bob the Builders, but sometimes we just do. I think it's important to date someone where you're not having to be their mom, you're not having to be Bob the Builder, and you are not dating them based on their potential. Do they respect you? Are they kind to you? How do they treat you? I would say that that is the advice that I would give you on how to choose the right partner. Number one, super juicy, said, what advice would you have told your younger self as a teen or early 20s, etc.? The advice I would have told my younger self, without getting too emotional, is to believe in yourself and to just keep going. I don't know if that sounds cliche or not. I feel like there's so many people out there that will tell you that you probably can't do it. Maybe some people just deflect and project their insecurities onto you and tell you that maybe you're not good enough, and you start to lose your self-worth. I think it's important to just remember who you are. I would also have told myself to get onto YouTube sooner and to not waste your time and energy with people who don't deserve it. So Mika said, what is it like specifically dating a fitness influencer / personal trainer? I actually get this question quite a lot, which is quite interesting to me. I think people feel like because I'm with someone who is very into fitness and it's their career and it's a very, very big part of their life, that would be really difficult for me, which I can understand. What it's like dating a personal trainer is great for me because it means I get free sessions. that's what it's like. I don't feel any type of way. He doesn't expect me to be on the exact same level, thank goodness. One of the first things me and Markel spoke about, I said to him, oh, like, you know, do you date girls who like work out all the time? He was straight away to me, said, you know, people ask me that all the time, and no, he just wants someone who just has a healthy lifestyle. So I thought, okay, that's good, because if you think I'm going to be in the gym 7 days a week, you're crazy. I've always had a healthy, active lifestyle anyway, and of course, since being with him, I felt like I got into my health and my fitness even more so, but I don't ever feel pressure to do more, eat better, or be like him when it comes to fitness. I feel zero pressure. Of course, in a relationship anyway, whether he was working within the fitness industry or not, when you have a boyfriend or you're dating someone or husband, fiance, whatever it is, you of course want to always make sure that you look good, and you know, you want your partner to be attracted to you and you want to be attracted to them. But I don't feel pressure that because of his career that I have to keep up. He will be telling me 5-6 days a week that he's going to the gym, and I'll be like, bye, see ya. And I think that comes from having confidence within yourself. Someone else said to me, congratulations on your wedding from Atlanta. My husband and I have been married for 21 years. I found your YouTube channel through your husband, and I've been doing his workouts, and your channel motivates me to continue my workout journey. I have dropped 10 pounds and I aim to drop 10 more. That's amazing, Cappy. My question concerns your traveling. My husband and I want to travel more. I was wondering how you plan the trips you go on. When it comes to planning trips, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I have a little gift within this department. I'm really good at finding really good deals. One thing with me is I will book a trip well in advance to try and make sure I get the best cost that I possibly can. The way I plan these trips is I do research, and I actually find these things really fun. Markel finds it really boring, but I kid you not, I could spend half the day just browsing countries that I want to visit. I can watch YouTube videos on it. I could do that probably all day and I won't be bored. So I think that makes it easier to find unique places in the world to visit. I make sure that I try and book my flights on incognito mode. They'll notice that you keep on checking for these flights, and then they'll increase the price. So I will search on incognito mode, but basically I will just book things in advance, as much in advance as I can. I'll just start doing research on TikTok, on YouTube. I'll book most of our hotels on booking.com and Airbnb. I won't really use anything outside of that. And then I'll just do lots of research with things that you can do there, and this will be a good time to go. These months are the best time to go to this country. It's not going to be rainy season. Let's go during these months, and then I'll just start doing all my planning. So that's how I do that. Nelsa said, I have a few questions to ask you. Question number 1, how do you stay consistent even when you don't feel motivated? I try my best to stay consistent when I don't feel motivated. I'm not always consistent. I don't want you to think that from my vlogs all the time I'm consistent, go, go, go. No, there are so many hard days where I can't do it. I can't be bothered. The laziness creeps in. It takes over. I turn into a slob kebab, and that's just what happens. Discipline is definitely a skill that I'm still working on. Right now, it's still hard. It's not easy, but the way I will try and stay consistent is to just remember why I'm doing it. Sometimes when I'm feeling a bit down about myself and I'm not feeling the best, I'm not working out today, but maybe I can try and make a healthy meal instead. So at least I feel like it's a healthy compromise, and it does help that I'm with a partner that wants the best for me, so he will help to push me, and he will be like, no babe, maybe today you should do this. You know, you've been telling me you want to work out more, so maybe today you should do this. And a tip that helps me that I think will help you is I will book a class that if I cancel, they will charge me an arm and a leg. That will motivate me to get the hell up and go to that workout class. It's not always easy, and I'm not always so motivated, but it just comes down to discipline and how bad you want to make these changes in your life. Question number 2, what advice would you give someone planning to relocate to another country without knowing anyone? Before Marco and I moved to Dubai, we did so much research. Something that I would personally do is I would watch a lot of vlogs on YouTube. I wanted to get more of an insight into how is it actually like living in Dubai for a normal girl like me. I would try and see other people who looked like me or who had the same experiences. I would basically just watch their life and try to get a bit more of an insight into how it is. So So I would say 100% do your research, find out what area you would want to live in. I know that there's some Facebook groups where you can meet people. I haven't personally done that, but I know that that's something that you can do. It's not easy if you don't know anyone, but it can be done. One thing I'll say about Dubai is there are so many expats here. There's so many people in the same boat who come here and don't know anyone, and they create lives for themselves. They end up being in relationships, they make friends. I mean, me personally, I've made about 1 or 2 friends. So I need to put more effort into my social life in Dubai. I will say that much, but I know it can be done. Before we moved to Dubai, there was actually someone that Markel and I met on YouTube. When we came over to Dubai, we met them in real life in person. Now that's one of our really good friends. Just do as much research as you can so when you come here, you feel comfortable and nothing has caught you off guard. From Nelsa, do you feel any different now that you are married? Honestly, no, I don't. A lot of people after getting married was asking me and Markel, oh, how does it feel, you know, now that you guys are married? I was thinking, am I supposed to feel different? Because I felt exactly the same. When I thought about it a bit more, because so many people were asking me, so I was thinking, oh my gosh, is there a feeling that I'm waiting for? Should I be waiting for something? Am I supposed to feel different? The answer is I feel exactly the same. I realized it's not a bad thing I feel the same. It's a good thing I feel the same. At this point, we've been together for 5 years, and if I feel the same, then I think that's a good thing, and he feels the same too. So Eleva has said, you look stunning. Thank you so much. And what you did consistently to manifest a life of your dreams. After my last relationship, I said to myself, I need to be in a healthy relationship. I need to be in a relationship that's happy. And the next relationship I'm in, I want that to be the last relationship I'm in. I'm so grateful because I wouldn't think that I would be living the life that I'm living today. And I don't want you to think that by me saying that everything's perfect, because it really isn't. I'm very grateful for my life, but I still don't feel it's the life of my dreams, but it's a life I'm very, very grateful for. But there are still certain things in life that I want to accomplish. But do you know what? Let me rephrase that. I would say this is the life of my dreams, but there are just still things that I would like to accomplish. How did I manifest this? Honestly, a lot of prayer, a lot of actually sticking to your boundaries. And what I mean by that is, if there are certain things that you want to accomplish in life, that requires discipline. If you want to be someone that wakes up a bit earlier, if you want to be someone that is in a healthy relationship, if you want to be someone that wants more friends and you want to be more social, you need to have boundaries within yourself. You need to be so real with yourself. Like, okay, what do I need to work on in order to live the life of my dreams, or in order to live a better life? In a nutshell, I had a very real and honest conversation with myself. I hope that answered your question, but it's just because it's not a clear-cut answer of do this and that's how you get the life of your dreams. Is hubby your personal trainer? That's what Styles by Lobby has said. Yes. Is he my personal trainer? Like we say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're going to work out together and da-da-da. No. He's my personal trainer in the sense that he motivates me. He'll give me a workout plan that I can follow. Yeah, he's my personal trainer in that way. He's not my personal trainer like we'll go to the gym and he'll be by my side. So Kate has said to me, and this is a very good question, hey Essie, what do you do besides YouTube? I actually have a bachelor's in marketing, and I have done marketing for years and years and years. I thought, I've paid so much for this degree, might as well put it to good use. I went into marketing, and then from marketing I switched over to branding, and now I actually work with my husband at his company where he coaches women on a one-to-one basis, private premium coaching program that he does with women from all over the world. So I basically help with the operations behind the scene, and I use my marketing and branding knowledge to help him in that department. Besides YouTube, that's what else I do. J Girl has said, I'm currently in a 3-year relationship and I'm wanting marriage, but my partner is not desiring it as much as I am. How did those marriage conversations start and go between you and your husband? Did you have a timeline that you communicated? What was the process to moving towards marriage? That long conversation that me and Marco had when we first met, it got deep pretty quick. Once you get to a point where you know what you want out of life, or you at least know what you want out of your relationship, you ain't got no time to be playing. I ain't got time to be on the phone to you for these hours and I'm asking you, what's your favorite color? No. Let's get down to business. Do you want to be married? Do you want to have kids?
I want my eggs cracked, meaning I want a child. I want my name dropped, meaning I want to be married. I'm not around with you.
I wasn't that intense. I think it's important when you're dating someone from the jump to make sure that you both want the same things out of life, and you want the same things out of life more or less around the same time. You could want to be married and he could want to be married, but he might not see marriage until maybe he's like 40, whereas you might want to be married in your 20s. So it wasn't a thing that we constantly spoke about, but it was a thing that during our first conversation, I knew that we both wanted the same things. And that was very important, because no matter how much I liked him, if it was a situation where, for example, he did not want kids or he did not want to get married, it would have been cut off there and then, because why am I going to keep talking to someone that doesn't want the same things that I do? I think it just depends how important it is for you. If it's something that is really important for you, then I think for us as women, you shouldn't settle. Otherwise, it can be really difficult. When you've invested years down the line, it can be harder to walk away. As we started being with each other longer, then we started having those conversations a bit more. Did I give him a timeline? Yes. I said to him, look, I would like to be married by the time I'm 30. Also, I ain't got time to be with you for years and years and years, and you still don't know if you want to marry me. What more do you want from me? Do you know what I mean? We always wanted the same thing, so I was never worried that he wasn't going to propose or anything like that. As our relationship progressed, so did our conversations surrounding marriage. I hope that helped. Naomi, the first lady, has said, my questions would be, how do you manage your marketing job with traveling and YouTube? The synergy just blows my mind. You're a real one, because you already knew that I do marketing. You really listen to my vlogs, and I appreciate that. How I manage it, sometimes I feel like I don't manage it the best. Sometimes I feel like I am honestly just scraping by with uploading on YouTube on a weekly basis. Sometimes I don't even know how I'm managing it, and I feel like I'm chasing my tail. I'll be creating a video, editing a video, and uploading it all in the same week, and it can be overwhelming. Hello. Hi. Look, he's come to say hi. Hi. She's like my baby. You're so cute. You're so cute. Okay, let me finish doing my video. Go, spread your wings, go, go, go. But as I was saying, I just about scraped by, but something that has helped me is just to have a content calendar. That at least helps me be organized, that I pretty much have a good understanding of what video is going to go out on a week-to-week basis. I am in the process of actually looking for an editor to help free up some time, because it can be difficult having basically 2 full-time jobs at the same time. I think what helps is that I work from home. I can be a bit more flexible with my timing. I would say that's how I do it. Your second question, I want to start documenting my life too. However, I feel my life isn't all that interesting. I don't travel. My job and everything is in one state, in one country. I enjoy Instagram and YouTube. I would love tips on maybe a roadmap to just start something. This is such a good question, because that's how I used to feel. So even though I've only been consistent on YouTube for the past year or so since moving to Dubai, I've actually been doing YouTube for longer than that. But when I was living in London, I would never film and edit and upload like I do now, because I felt, what am I going to film? My life is just boring. I'm working at a laptop all day. It's raining outside. It's grey all the time in London. What am I possibly going to film? You know what? That couldn't be furthest from the truth. There are so many content creators on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok who film their normal day. If anything, I feel like that's more relatable, because there's so many people who can relate to that. Yes, I travel a lot, but besides the traveling, with my Dubai vlogs, I'm pretty much at home, or I'll go and do Pilates. I'm making dinner. It's pretty much the same things that I'm doing, because that is my life. My life isn't always exciting. I'm not always traveling. So I would just start, and it sounds cliche, it sounds cringy, but there's a saying that the best time to start was yesterday, but the second best time to start is now. And if you feel you don't want to start YouTube straight away, then you could even start with TikToks or shorts. Like, start with short form content, but just start. Because one thing I will say is I wish I started and I was more consistent sooner. Don't feel like your life is too mundane. People will buy into you more so than what it is that you're doing. You'll find your way. So I hope that helps. Andrea said, congrats on your marriage. My question is, do you have plans on starting a family? Definitely would love to start a family at some point in the future. I don't know when, because I still feel like there's things that I want to accomplish in life, and I know there's no perfect time to have a child, but there's still a few more bits and bobs that I would like to do first. Trey asked an interesting question. Said, hi gorgeous, here's my question. Were you approached by someone to start a YouTube for pay, or was the idea organic and from your own mind? It was definitely from my own mind. I always wanted to do YouTube and I always wanted to do travel content for years and years and years, but I never had the courage to do it, and I never thought it would be something that a video that anyone would watch. When I started talking to Markel, I actually told him this, like, you know, I've always actually wanted to do travel content. And for Christmas, at this point, we'd only known each other for a couple of months, and one of the Christmas presents he bought me was a camera. And I was shocked because I was thinking, firstly, I've only just known you for a couple of months and you've already bought me a star in the sky, and now you bought me a camera. And secondly, it was really sweet because he said to me, you know, you said you always wanted to start YouTube, so here, now you have no excuse, now you can start. I think my first ever YouTube video was with the camera that Markel actually got me. He has always pushed me and said, look, you want to do YouTube, you should do it, you should start. I always felt like, what's the point of doing it? No one's going to watch my content. I'll be lucky if like 4 people watch it. So I wasn't approached by anyone to start a YouTube. That would be nice if someone had approached me. That wasn't my reality. And I think I'm going to answer just one more question because I feel like I've been yapping for ages, and I hope I'm not boring you girls. Will y'all, you Americans love to say that, will y'all be doing any more workout videos together? Yes, we haven't done workout videos in a very, very, very long time, but it's definitely something that we love doing, so we would definitely be doing more of that. There's quite a few other questions. I will save more of your questions for a part 2. I hope I have given you guys a bit more of an insight into who I am behind the vlogs, and you have gotten to know me better through this chit chat. I hope I've answered you guys' questions with as much detail. I have loved chatting with you girls. I hope you've loved tonight, and I will see you guys as per usual on a Sunday in the next video. Bye.